Intuitively, the world stands on the edge of a dangerous cliff. From the escalating Iran-Israel conflict to the prolonged war in Ukraine, humanity is once again flirting with catastrophe. It's not just a documentary. It is a call to action. It is a plea for peace. It is a wake-up call to humanity that our time may be running out, unless we choose diplomacy over destruction, humanity over hatred, and life over war. Nuclear war was once the fear of the past. After Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the world saw the horrors of atomic destruction. During the Cold War, the US and the Soviet Union stockpiled thousands of warheads, ready to annihilate the planet many times over. But after 1991, when the Cold War ended, many believed the nuclear threat had passed. But they were wrong. In the 2020s, nuclear weapons are no longer relics of the past. They are central to modern military strategies. At least 9 countries now possess them, and many more are rapidly advancing nuclear programs. In 25, the fear isn't only about the massive intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, launched by superpowers. The more immediate danger comes from tactical nuclear weapons used on the battlefield, dirty bombs in urban centers, AI-assisted targeting errors that could trigger unintended retaliation, and above all, human misjudgment. All it takes is one mistake, one miscommunication, or one rogue decision, and the consequences will be irreversible. Tensions between Iran and Israel have existed for decades. Iran refuses to recognize Israel's right to exist. Israel views Iran's nuclear program as an existential threat. Between 2010 and 20, Israeli intelligence allegedly sabotaged Iranian facilities and assassinated nuclear scientists. Iran, in turn, armed Hezbollah in Lebanon and propped up militias in Syria and Iraq. But 2025 was different. It was no longer a shadow war. It became a direct war. In January 2025, a drone strike on an Iranian military convoy in Syria kills several Iranian officers. Iran blames Israel. In February, Iran-backed groups retaliate by launching missiles into the Golan Heights. In March, Israel launches a coordinated airstrike on Iran's Natanz nuclear facility. Iran responds with dozens of missile attacks targeting Tel Aviv and Haifa. The war expands into cyberspace. Iranian hackers disable Israeli hospital systems. Israel retaliates by crashing Tehran's electricity grid. Iran reportedly moves medium-range ballistic missiles to underground silos in Isfahan. Israel goes on nuclear alert. Although Israel has never officially confirmed its nuclear arsenal, experts estimate it holds between 80 to 90 nuclear warheads. Iran has repeatedly claimed its nuclear program is peaceful, but global intelligence agencies warn that Iran is close to breakout capability, the point where it can assemble a nuclear weapon in weeks. The fear in 2025? That Israel might conduct a preemptive nuclear strike if it believes Iran is hours away from launching. This is not a theory. It is a real imminent risk, one the international community has so far failed to neutralize. While Israel and Iran wage war in the Middle East, Europe continues to bleed. The Ukraine conflict, which began in 2014 and exploded in 2022, has become a modern-day world war in everything but name. In February 2025, Ukraine's counteroffensive regains control of parts of southern Crimea. In March, Russia launches retaliatory airstrikes, destroying civilian infrastructure in Mykolaiv and Dnipro. In April, NATO deploys additional troops to Poland and Romania amid fears of Russian expansion. In May, a Russian missile crosses into Polish airspace, killing civilians. NATO activates Article 4, bringing the alliance to the brink of collective defense. In June, Russian state media issues warnings of limited nuclear response if NATO intervenes directly. Unlike the Iran-Israel war, where nuclear use is still considered taboo, The Russia-Ukraine conflict flirts openly with nuclear rhetoric. President Putin has repeatedly warned of severe consequences for any Western interference. In 2025, military analysts warn that if Russia begins to lose Crimea or Donbass permanently, it might resort to using tactical nuclear weapons on the battlefield to deter further NATO support. The human cost of modern war and the true consequences of nuclear escalation. In the aftermath of a nuclear exchange, the devastation would extend far beyond the immediate blast zones. Millions of lives would be lost in an instant, while countless others would suffer from radiation sickness, burns, and long-term health effects. Cities once vibrant with life would become uninhabitable wastelands. The environment would collapse, with crops failing and famine spreading across continents. The psychological toll on survivors would be immeasurable as humanity grapples with loss, trauma, and a shattered future. If we do not end war, war will end us. As we stand at this pivotal moment in history, the choice before us has never been clearer or more urgent. The threats we face are not distant possibilities. They are immediate dangers that demand our attention and resolve. If we continue down the path of conflict and aggression, the consequences could be catastrophic, not just for any one nation, but for all of humanity. Now is the time to choose peace, cooperation, and understanding over fear, violence, and destruction.